Hey, amazing people. How are you all doing? I'm back in the building. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and see me saying hello to you, and to you. It's been a minute. I did some traveling, didn't put much up on. I will, yeah. So I did a little traveling and I'm back. And whenever you guys get a chance to see this, I really appreciate those of you who earnestly watch these videos. I really appreciate you. And so I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And so I'm going to, I love to do my monologue. And if you're here, thank you for stopping in. And truthfully, I really love doing YouTube between traveling and everything else. And so if it's your very first time tuning in, I'm Sharon, registered nurse, entrepreneur. Love talking to the most amazing people who are willing, ready, and able just to have, really nice discussions here on YouTube. And there are those of us who are content creators. So it's all good. And yeah, that's what we talk about. We talk about wellness, we talk about life. Hey, Lyrics by Nitya, great to see you. Hi, it's Marvella. I've been traveling. Yes, I've been doing some flying. Yay, I've been traveling. So I didn't get a lot to, I think, within a week, 3 states. Do a lot of traveling, guys. I just don't put it up out there. But what happened was that all set to go. And then where we were, the internet just went, I guess, because I went somewhere quiet and my internet would not go through the app. That's the thing, though, too. So, it is what it is, but work needs to be done. And I love to come on here and talk. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and like I said, if it's your first time tuning in, thank you for being here. And those of you who are here, I'm just going to present this in monologue style. Please communicate with me in the chat because that's great. It's wonderful when I get a chance. Yes, it's great to see you. It's great to stay connected. There's so many things that's happening, guys. Life, as we say, life be life in, right? Um, and it does happen, but in the meantime, YouTube for me is fun. YouTube is, I don't want any stress about it. YouTube is just getting things done and being able to communicate with people, watching some of your videos. And sometimes too, if you don't see me comment, I got my ninja, so I'm watching, and then I'll come over and let you all know. But yeah, I did some traveling this week. It just feels a little bit off. And there were some delays, but thank God nothing too bad. And, we got to where we needed to go. So it was, yeah, it was good. And I'm going to say this for me in this season. Sometimes you will meet people and they'll have a word for you. They'll have a word. And that's what I love. Every situation, everything that you go through, there's a reason for it, right? There's a reason why things happen. And especially, I'm going to speak to our nice people, those of us who are extremely nice. Sometimes, you know what, you just got to toughen up some. Sometimes you just have to just get a little bit tough. When we say a little bit tough, we don't have to be disrespectful or in any which way, but there's some things that we have to speak over our lives, speak over our situations. And when you overextend yourself, we've all been there. Put a hand up, drop a one, drop a two, or something, drop a one. Oh, I've been there where I've overextended myself. And you've all heard me speak about that before. But it comes to a point where you'll say, you know what? Enough is enough. You know what? I'm going to show up in a way that's a little bit different, and some may like it and some won't. But you're going to have to speak things over your life. We command our morning. I have the book here. Let me see if I can find. I was trying to find it was like my book, my Cindy Trim. But we have command in your morning. But there are other things in our lives that we need to command. Or health or wealth or legacy, yes, or spirituality. I don't let anybody come between me and certain things. But there comes a time when you're going to have to let folks know whether you choose to show up or not, right? Yes. Where's Jamaican Uncle? Is he in here? Because I can't see anyone. I can't see anyone. But I thought about it and I said, you remember there was a song, Soar Like an Eagle? Yeah. And I said, you know what? That's what we need to do. Because an eagle is up there minding his business. They said eagles do not hang around with chickens. And you really thought of it. I'm like, sure. I saw one, I think one was in our backyard a couple years ago. And I think the guys, either they were working on cable and they took a photo of this huge bird. And then I also saw one maybe 3 years ago in the park, and it's huge and it's way up high, but it was in the tree. And I'm walking, I'm like, why is the eagle there? It didn't bother anyone. It didn't bother anyone. So guys, thank you. Welcome on in. I got folks here who are saying hello to you. So thank you for being here. What's going on? Halle Berry, Halle Berry, Halle Berry, Halle Berry. Hey, Halle, what's going on, Halle Berry? Lord, what's going on to Halle Berry? What's going on? Hey, thank you for being here. Was this Farson? The end. Okay, thank you for being here. The tea tonight, it's ginger and hibiscus tea. Not that other tea that I was drinking. It's hibiscus and ginger. I was watching Cassie Kitchen's creation with a K. She made a whole song about lemon water. Get your vitamin C, get the water, get up in the morning. I was like, girl, I do no line today. A little bit heartburn or something's going on. But an eagle minds its own business. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm a little bit jet lagged, believe it or not, but I'm bringing the energy. And so I'm thinking about it because I was flying this week. Oh my gosh, I keep saying weekend. So I flew, and everybody's just like traveling nurses. We just want to get where we're going. People were well behaved. No one was fussing. We were delayed about an hour and maybe hour and a half, and it seems like that's what was happening. And then they made an announcement. The pilot, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. You know how the pilots talk, and they're garbling. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying with us. However, there's something that's going on, and I was like, what is he talking about? So the co-pilot, the thing for his oxygen wasn't working. So if anybody was on that flight, then you know where we were going. And he was like, we need to get it fixed. And I was like, everybody was like, get it fixed, pilot, captain, get it fixed. We are not, and I was not on Spirit, all right? But I've never flown Spirit. I've heard good things about them. There are people who like to fly in Spirit. Listen, Spirit, I have nothing bad to say about you. But anyway, the pilot said, we need to make sure that if the oxygen mask falls, the co-pilot can get some oxygen. So everybody sat down, their best behavior. And guess what happened? I fell asleep. And I might have snored a little bit because when I woke up a little bit, I usually don't sit in the aisle seat. I am right behind first class, the bulkhead where you get the extra seat in. But because it was a last minute flight and I booked it maybe hours before, not even 12 hours before I booked the flight. So I'm like, okay, at least I got the seat, I got some leg room, and I'm right there in the middle because I'm usually on the aisle, even if it's first class, the aisle. And I only travel with a backpack and a little thingy across me. So if anything, we can leave that, but my little thingy is going with me, right, guys? So anyway, maybe I fell asleep and we were supposed to take off. Yeah, so about an hour and 90 minutes, but we made up for time. So we were only late like 45 minutes. They made up for time, Jetstream, whichever way. So it was a good flight. And, I get to look through the window a little bit. I could see over there. It was all good. It was all good. I'm not fussy. And I didn't get an upgrade, but I'm not fussy. We're just getting where we need to go. Okay. And I'm just thinking about it. It's so serene. It's so beautiful. when you're up there. And the thing about it, like I'm talking about the eagles, eagle, let's just say an eagle, just one eagle, right? The eagle minds its own business. An eagle is really focused. An eagle is really focused. And we sometimes have allowed things, people, situations, and things, we become distracted. The really nice folks like ourselves, like you and me, like those of us here, the few of us who are here, right? The brave ones who came in, because I didn't send out a notification, which I should, but it's all good because I was driving early at the store. Okay, sidebar, let's get back. Okay, let's get back like the eagle, focus, right? So the eagle is focused. It has a laser vision. And when I thought of it, I'm like, man, they go up so high, they're able to see, they can swoop down when they want to. If this is making sense, drop a two. An eagle is really, the vision is so focused. But when they need to swoop down, right, and get what they need to get, they can do that. And so sometimes do we wonder, why do we become distracted? Like me, I can talk about five different things, it, it happens. But when we try to do so many things, how effective are we? When we think of that eagle just minding its own beautiful business, nothing wrong with being in community, because community is good, right? And so I had to think about some things, and I was having a conversation with a client, right? Girl, gotta do what you gotta do. And this week was trying. It was a little bit trying. And so the word that I want to drop for you, you are doing the best you know how to, and you want to do it from a space and a place from in your heart where you feel good about it. This is what I'm supposed to do. No animosity, no anger, no anxiety or anything like that. And even though you do all of that and you show up, the person on the other end could be playing games, because there's some folks who think that they can control you by the games that they play. Remember the song, Games People Play? Okay, I'm older than some of y'all. Anybody remember that song? Games People Play? And you're like, you know what? No, I'm not going to fall into that. What if I'm just like the eagle? I am laser focused. Because the eagle, from what I understand, their vision is extreme, it's very clear. And so, if there's something that we need to focus on, we need to be crystal clear on what that is. And so, even in today's economy, and I'm thinking, right? And my friend that we had that little chat, right? Um, that, hey, I need to go back and do this, but they said, you know what? Be prepared. It's better to have something than not to need it, than to need it and not have it. And so when we're looking at our gifting, our skills, and the things that we have been blessed with, the thing or things that has set us apart, it is going to require laser focus. And so the conversation that I was having, where's Allison? I got these big glasses on. I can't see nobody. Let's see if we can pull it up somewhere else. Lyrics by Nitya. Allison Map. Oh, there's a delay, so I have to use this. Allison Map is in the building. Marvella. And lyrics by Nitya and Farson, and a few people are here. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming in, because I'm going to drop some life gems. I know some of y'all got to go to bed, but I'm going to say Allison. I was listening to Allison. Oh gosh, there it is. Like the eagle. I can't even stay focused. Sidebar. I was listening to Allison, and where was I driving? Yeah, Allison, I've been driving and I've been flying, and I was listening to Allison. She was having lunch. Was that the lunch that you were a little bit nauseous about? You don't know if you should have the lunch, and then you started eating it. And I think it was a Taco Bell. Was that the Taco Bell lunch? And I was like, oh my God, didn't uh What's her name? LTV. What's her name? Ashana. I always call her Ashanti, but that's not her name. Please, somebody tell me her name. It's the, let me take a sip of tea. There's some honey in here. But yes, you were doing a little bit of that. And thank you, Allison, for keeping my company because I was driving. I needed to drive about 2 hours, and I listened to Marvella going in and listened to you coming back the next day. So yeah, I only went in for not even 24 hours. So I'm taking my time, guys. I'm just connecting here. Yes, Allison. What happened? You were going to take some of the food home for your son. Excuse me. I think I needed a little glucose to the brain. So type, Allison, tell us you were having some kind of stuff there from your tequero Taco Bell. You remember that Taco Bell thing? And then they said that wasn't nice to do that. But this is how I listen to you guys. I listen to you in my travels. However, on the plane, after a while you can. Anisha LTV. Thank you. Anisha's gonna be like, what? But yeah, she did a review on that Taco Bell thing. So yeah, I may not be like the eagle to fully to stay laser focused, but when I went away and I flew back in this morning, I was going to stay until Sunday because I was going to see some other clients, do some work. And usually when I need to get laser focused, I go away. I go book myself either into a hotel, make it like a nice resort somewhere nice so I can work. I usually go with the kitchenette, where they have the kitchen. They have the gym, they have everything there. So I usually like to have a space where I can really work and I can really produce. Because the thing is this, we sometimes, and that's my thing, when I get into the mode of producing, whether it's writing, whether it's creating something, I really get laser focused. And so as much as I love the grandbabies, they're not going to come. Don't send me any cute little pictures of them because it's going to tug at my heartstring. But I also need to make sure that I stay laser focused. And the thing about the eagle also, they talk about longevity and being resilient. I like to talk about being resourceful. And so even with the eagle, it goes through different form, transformation. It might be they're flying and you may think that it doesn't see, but it zooms in. And so with you being laser focused, it's also to our spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment is very important to me because when you are so laser focused, when through fasting and prayer, and some of you, if it's your first time here, this is how I talk, and it is what it is. But through fasting and prayer, you become so clear. You see, it's almost like you could see through things, or almost like you could see through people. And so instead of getting clouded by the noise, it may require you to pull back a little bit and focus on that thing. And so when I thought about it, the person said one thing out of all of this when she said to me, there are other things that we're commanding, but what is that thing in your life that you need to decree and declare and to command it? And I was like, if anything from this trip, and it was a great trip, but I said, if anything from this, that was the word for me in this season, that thing that I needed to command. Do you know that you can do that? There are those of you in here, drop me a 3 if you know that there are things that you can command, like you can command your morning and you can command your day. And I'm like, my God, why is it that I'm hearing this with new ears? Right? Why am I hearing this? Because I've been doing this so long, and sometimes we are just surviving. We're just surviving every day. We're just, oh, I have this uncle, he used to say in Jamaica, how you doing? Man, I'm just taking a rough life easy. Why would I want to take a rough life easy? It's just a way of speaking, right? So if we've been living like this all the time, and the conversation was so deep, it was so good, that we're almost there. We start and we stop, right? Right, Marvella, we start and we stop. But this time it's going to be different because instead of the starting and stopping and the ooh and the ah, and just worrying about people who aren't worrying about you, let's get back, like how I have to get back now, and let's be laser focused. We're being resilient, but we're also being resourceful. What does this have to do with entrepreneurship? Has everything to do with it. And I looked at it, and then I started to listen to some conversation because, sometimes when you're flying, you can only get the WhatsApp. Fishy things. Hey, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here. Good to see you guys. It's a little delay, so sometimes I got to look over here. Right, Marvella? So we start and we stop. But what's going to make it different at this time? We found community, right? We're the 100, what is it, Lashana? Oh, I can't mess it up. The 1,000 plus content creators. So we are finding each other. That's how I found Fishy Things. Actually, I met Fishy Things on Also Ravishing. He used to come on. I was like, what kind of name is that? Then I went looking and I said, oh my God, is he a chef? Right? That's how I can remember where I've met most of you folks. And so there are people that I connect with, and I'm like, okay, let's get back to the place where we are resourceful. We're in a community where we are connected with each other. Connection is awesome. And looking at her gifting and her skills. And so we can celebrate each other in what's happening in this. Marvella can just expound. You give her something, and sometimes Marvella, I can see she got to hold back, and she's like, I'm just trying to make this video 10 minutes, but she has so much more to say, but enough to pull me in for the next one. And so then now, as the eagle, what we're talking about, to soar like an eagle. Yeah, Fishy Thing, what can I name that? Oh, what can I name that? But anyway, love it. Right? So we're going to soar like an eagle. We're going to focus on the thing that people tell you. What is that thing about yourself that people tell you that you're great at? And you hear it all the time. Whatever that thing is, they keep telling you you're great at. You may have to start really thinking about it. That's our superpower. That's our gifting. That's our blessing, what God has given to us. And so one has to start thinking of it. So when I went back to it and I said, listen, I'm not going to make excuses. Don't make excuses for your gifting, your skills, your talent, your brilliance, because the eagle is up there minding his business. The eagle is not hanging around with chickens. Okay? The eagle is not hanging around. I don't want no scrubs. Yeah. Yeah, you know the song, right? When Auntie tried to sing these songs, I'm all offbeat. No, that was my error. So I should know about TLC even more. They tell me I have a vibe. You do. You have even before I went to your channel, you used to ask questions in the chat, and you just came across as a really cool person. Because sometimes too, by the way people write and how they engage. And then I went over there and I was like, oh, he must be a chef and I'm a foodie. So I started watching all the foodie stuff. And then till you started to do your lives, which is so relaxing, and you talk to people, then he goes out to the truck, he comes back in. So being yourself, the thing, I don't know what that means, but that's what they say. You have a vibe. You do. You have a vibe. It's it's using the spirit of discernment. We would say you're just cool people, but I'm only one person. Yeah, you're just cool people. And that comes across because also when you go in somebody's life, how they communicate with people. But it was when you were more on Also Ravishing, that's how. And she would ask you questions. She's really good. Sometimes I think she's a counselor. She was just, not like she was counseling, but she engaged you in conversation. And then after that, I started going and looking and see, oh, he's cool people, right? So the eagle is just minding its own beauty. What they call it, a ball-headed eagle, if it's so, whatever, I don't even know. But the eagle knows that he's set apart. My God, is there a message in this here tonight? The eagle is set apart. The eagle knows that. right? The eagle is minding his own sweet business, and it flies alone. Mm. It flies at a certain altitude, right? Because it's not hanging around with no chicken heads. It's not. Yeah, Fishy, you come off of school. He does. He's good people. And we don't use that, when we say you're cool, you're good people. Um, I take that very seriously. Yes. So the eagle flies alone, not that he can't have friends, not that they can't, do things. They just do things a little bit different. The eagle will build his nest what? A little bit higher. Remember, I told you the eagle's all up in the tree, minding his business. In other words, I'm saying all of this to say that we need to revel, we need to embrace that thing that makes us, that set us apart, that people will tell you you're cool people, because that's something that you can feel. Giving them some, oh Lord, wrong song. But you know what I'm saying, right? So when people can do that, so this is me. This is who I am. This is my personality. For my personality, this talking ever since I was a kid, it was just who I am, right? I didn't really try to talk out of turn, but sometimes I just would ask a lot of questions. And, growing up, they will tell you to be seen and not heard, when in fact, you have something to say. And so, like, even now, cultural norms will say, oh, children are supposed to be seen and not heard. But now it's different. Like my grandsons, they have a meeting, they have conversations. Their parents do gentle parenting. Oh, let me not do that just in case they see this video. Their parents do gentle parenting, right? And so they have a way of how they do things. I might have grown up a little bit different, right? But I just have to respect them, respect what it is that they do. And these little boys, they have meetings. I don't know, they just have meetings. I keep telling you there. You know how to blend in with where what would okay, yeah. Marvella said, fishy thing, you know how to blend in with whatever is going on. Yes. And that's a great thing to do, because it makes other people feel comfortable without him making himself uncomfortable. He's just being himself. He's just being himself, and that's the thing. So the eagle knows, the eagle soaring eye, the eagle builds the nest up there. The eagle can do that because he can swoop down. So in other words, we need to just really focus in on what makes us unique. Let me sip my tea. Let me sip my tea. High Terrace Church is in the building. Good evening. We are talking about being a royal priesthood, being set apart. Look at me trying to preach just because the preachers are in the house, right? But we're talking about the eagle that's unique. He flies high, he lives up there, he sees everything, but he also is laser focused. What is it we need to focus on? We need to get back to the place in the space, right? Where the thing that sets us apart, the thing that makes us unique, even though there are many of us who are multi-talented. There are people like me, like Nithya, many of us in this space, we are multi-talented. But that one thing, when we focus on that one thing, that makes us who we are. And so, like I said, I was doing a lot of traveling. Last week was the drive-in, and this week, and I listened to you in the garden. I Cherish Church. Thank you for that. I love it. The gardening in the garden and giving us the word in the garden. I love that. And so I got back to the place and space of that. And then when I'm on the plane, sometimes I do try to write unless I'm inspired, but I also had some recordings that I listened to, and it was a conversation. Sometimes when I go into those conference and we're having conversation, somebody may ask my permission to record me, or if we're recording the conversation. And usually it's good to ask permission. And so the information that was being shared was a lot about AI. It was a lot about, and this was had to have been the last year or the year before. I think it might have been last year. or the year before. It had to do with AI. And the amount of information, Nitya, you would love this, that was shared on it, that was information that I had with this person who does AI. And so I was able to share information with her. And so with all of that, the thing that made us unique, we were she worked for somebody who had a personality like mine, right? And so she was the support system behind the scene for this multi-millionaire. This girl, just the same. So Nitya, oh my God, let me come back to this now. So maybe this is what this is about. This is about the uniqueness of this person. She knew her gifting and her skills, and behind the scene, Nitya, the skills set that she has helped to support somebody who pushed that person into the seven figure. Ooh, oh my gosh, I'm also on Facebook. Ooh, talking out all the business, Guys, am I making sense? Drop me some flames, drop me some emoji, drop me a 3. Well, we can't do too many emojis because this thing here, but drop me maybe like a 4. Brother man going to the 5th floor. But drop me a 4, guys. Drop me a 4. If this is making sense, your gifting and your skills, it will make room for you, bring you in front of people that they say are great. But I'm just saying, your gifting and your skills can make somebody very rich. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Who heard what I just said? Did somebody just heard what I said? Did somebody just heard what I said? Let me see what's going on over here on Facebook, because now people are all up in my business. Oh, look at my friends in Jamaica having a great time. Oh gosh, I need to stay focused. Guys, is this making sense to you? The thing that makes you unique, the thing that sets you apart, is going to be the thing that can make a lot of other people wealthy. And Nitya, darling, that conversation was like 2 years ago. And I had so much information that together it's like what she knew and what I didn't know. And she was willing to answer the questions. And then my brain just started working. And then together I gave her information, stuff that she didn't have. She gave me info on some of it I already had. In other words, you already have the thing that you need. It's just that we have to get back to the place in the space where we need to get laser focused. And it can be difficult at times because we got the children, we have school, we have work, we have family. And it's like, where do you find that time to hone in on your gifting and your skills? And so for that conversation, I'm so glad that we did it, because it took me back to the place and the space of how sometimes we think, okay, guys, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Somebody needs it. Somebody support somebody with that gifting and the skills. There are many things that I do. And some of you who are watching this, and some of you who've been in groups with me, they would say, well, why don't you use it for yourself? Because that was not my gifting and skills. My thing was to support them with that, right? But you can also, there are other people who may want that. So you may have to start thinking about, now, this thing that I have, how do I create something out of it? Because it's great. There's nothing wrong with say, hey, I'll give a little something for free. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the other side of it, and I'm just only going to touch on it a little bit because some people may not understand, not that they don't understand, but I don't want to push folks to make them think that I'm only telling them about making money. No, you know what? Peculiar people, set apart, those chosen by God. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And so I'm telling you, that conversation, I was like, this was 2 years ago. And I said, I revisit it. And I went back, because whenever I do things, I put it in the notes section of my phone. So it's like there's no AI, not that there's no AI, I don't know, because there's certain things that I put in, all I have to do is type in and it pops up. So there are things that I may use in my business that I feel that I'm not using enough, that I need to get to, because especially of the people that you serve. We spoke a little bit about it because we're talking about soaring like the eagle, right? Who do you serve? And if you understand the people, like you, everyone here is super amazing. But my niche are for people who are busy. They're busy. They're very busy. Yeah, AI. Listen, let me sip my tea. Pinky up. Right? All right. I don't, yeah. So if you understand, so what is your gifting and your skills? What do you need to focus to get laser focused and get clear about it? Who do you serve? And when you serve these folks, what's the one thing that they'll tell you what their challenge is? And most of my folks, because of where I said I wanted to go, peculiar people set apart, right? Prayers that I prayed last year, because there were things that I already did. I've been there, done that. I've served in that capacity. That's not for me anymore. This is what I want. And what you are doing where you are now really needs to be in alignment with where you are in the season of your life. Yes, very much so. Weird in a blessed way. Yes. And some people may not understand it. You're so right. But there are those of us, like if she gives you a word, don't worry about it. There are people, like one morning she gave me a word, and I guess I'd gotten up and gone somewhere, and she said, "Oh, well, I didn't want to do it." But she said, I just had to be an obedient with what she said. And what she said made sense because the revelation was made to me what I need. It was something I needed to add to my diet. Right. And so I received it. And so, because sometimes when you are set apart and you're built like that, right? For many of you who are built, the chosen one, whatever people want to call it, one has to learn how to embrace it. And instead of not really apologizing because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to step on anybody's feet. Oh, I don't want to offend them. But it's so clear what you hear, right? Nitya? Drop a 5 if you agree with me, right? Or like Sharon, I don't know what you're talking about, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Because there are those of us who can receive it. We will get things ahead of time. You know what? I need to do this. But then, when it comes up a couple more times, you're like, okay, this is confirmation. Hello, Els Endeavor. And she's saying hello to everyone in the chat. We are getting deep tonight. I'm only going to keep this for an hour, but we're soaring like an eagle, Els, because the eagle mind its business. The eagle is flying so high, up high, looking down low, right? But the eagle is set apart, and the eagle knows that. We walk in spiritual. Come on, I Cherish Church Network. Let me do the church clap. Hibiscus and ginger and a little honey. Right? She said, walk in your spiritual authority. Listen, I Cherish Church, that was the word that I got this week with all this zigzagging and traveling that I do, right? The word that I got, there were certain things we are commanded our morning, right? But we can also command certain things. What do we speak over our health? Speak over our money. Sip the tea, pinky up. Command these things. We're not demanding it. I'm commanding my morning. I'm commanding and grand rising, because Nitya says grand rising, right? My thing is this, and I get it. I understand it. So we have to walk. And you know what? That's why I love this group when we come together. Walk in spiritual authority. And so I Cherish Church. You know how many people struggle with that. I don't care how many commas are behind their numbers in their bank account, how they struggle walking in authority and walking in their spiritual authority. Let's put it all together as such. But what I'm figuring out, guys, drop a 6 if you're getting this with me. The eagle knows that it's set apart. The eagle already knows that. The eagle knows that he is, I'm up here. I'm up here. The eagle knows that, and the eagle goes about its business. And it is resilient, and it is resourceful. Let's get to the word resourceful for those of us who are entrepreneurs. I come here, guys, and I just dropped the gem. It's Marvella said, yes, Lord, children of can command things. Children of God can command things, and we have angels. It's Marvella. Now we're going deep. There's some books out on that, y'all. Do y'all know that you have angels who are just waiting? Am I right or am I right? Drop me a 7, and 7, we know what that number is, right? Drop me a 7 if you understand that we all have angels who are waiting, We have the spirit of choice, right? We were given the opportunity or spirit, okay, to make a choice. Yes. I don't know if I'm missing a word there. I don't know why I just went like that. But we are assigned angels. Somebody just touched on that. Who was that touched it? Was it Marvella? Yes, Lord. She said, command. And we have angels working on our behalf. They're working on our behalf, but guess what? God sent angels to guide and protect my children. Cover them, Lord God. Angels that will guide and protect them. I had to pray that prayer when my grandson was in the hospital, y'all. Yeah, I said, God is so, so good. Because sometimes you will get tired as much as you can pray. They said, watch and pray all night and all day. Dispatch on our behalf. Oh, they better come on up in this piece right now. Come on, I Cherish Church Network Bishop. And we're all ministers up in here. Come on. Come on. All night and all day. How many of us believe that? Angels are ministering spirits working for us. That's why I love you all. Many are called, but the chosen are few. And there are those who are in this space. Guys, it's not going over. Some folks who may see this on the replay. I know some of you are going to see this on the replay. And I want you to drop a yes, Lord. Yes, God, somewhere right around here. Say, oh, God, like speak to me. Where are my angels at? They're there. I can command my morning. I'm going to command my money that it's not going to act funny. Okay? I'm going to command it that it's what's mine. It's got my name. There's a blessing with my name on it. I am not the preacher. The bishop and the preachers and the ministers are in the group. Go find them. When they come back, they're going to drop their name. I'm going to share this, I think, in one of my prayer groups. So you all come back and drop what you do here, because I want folks to see this. This tonight is so powerful. The angels that are dispatched, they're there. They're waiting for us, and we sit here. Angels that probably did there. The angels probably they're buffing in there like, you know what? I'm just here. What do they need me to do? Are we having church or what? Where is the collection plate? Let me do the church clap. Who's on the organ? Who's on the organ? Come on. Els Endeavor, they cover and they protect us from danger seen and unseen. They listen and wait for us to make a choice and speak and pray that thing and come. Oh God, come on. Look. Come on. Come on. Els Endeavor, read what Els just dropped there. Yes, and we are having church. Oh my God, I don't know. But if y'all let me go flying on my hair and my everything up in there, that's y'all fault tonight, because the anointing just fell on me so heavy when the person said, you're commanding your morning. There are things that you could command, and that's what you need to do. Let me tell you, within an hour, that thing that I commanded just started. I was like, sometimes you need to hear it again, and that's why we need to take care of ourselves, because this menopause brain or whatever is happening in this season, we got to take care of ourselves, because we need to be clear. We need to be fine-tuned. My God. My God. Like that eagle who soars. The eagle knows it. The eagle knows it. And so we have to walk in that. My friend said the spiritual authority. And there's a song, I walk in authority, right? We got to walk into it. We don't go to God begging and oofing and arming and this and that. Well, Lord, okay, so some folks may say, I'm not worthy. A wretch like me. Me don't have no problem with the song. Me don't have no problem with anybody. But we understand what that's saying, right? But when we go and we repent and we ask for forgiveness, right? We go in and we ask for forgiveness because sometimes we mess up. My brother said, we're two or three are gathered in Jesus' name. He's in the midst of it. He's in the midst of it. Y'all about gonna let me fall over and then kick over this computer. And I'm not being funny. I'm just telling you, y'all just saw what almost happened right here. Okay. Call those things that be not as though they were. Okay. Yeah. Because our faith, we keep saying, God. And so when I look at it, I know my gifting and my skills, and I've made a decision, and I made that last year. And sometimes too, when we ask God for something, then we backtrack, and that's when we mess up. We try to backtrack on that thing, right? And when God is already saying, all right, he's making every crooked path straight, and then we come back. And in Jamaica, they call it you dilly dally. You come back and you come back and you try to go back to a place in a space where you've already outgrown. You've outgrown mediocrity. You've outgrown all of this other stuff. And then when you try to go back there, let me tell you, it's like a hot mess. And that's why many of us end up in situations, right? Where we try to go back and say, "Cho, it's easier not doing it. It's easier this and that. It's easier that." Time waits for no man or woman. Time is more than a magazine, y'all. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. It's continuous. It's continuous. So when you're trying to backtrack, it's a hot mess because it won't work. We're in constant motion. We're constantly growing. We're evolving. We're changing. The skin is changing. The hair, you ever braid your hair and then you take it out and all of that hair come out because it has to. It can't stay there. Right? It's always growing. Your nails. Even after somebody, believe it or not, there's certain things that still happen in there. And so we try to regress, go back into that. You can't. Higher heights, deeper depths. So yes, you go at a higher level. But when we say deeper depths, it's a different way of being, different way of thinking, different way of seeing what is, because God is revealing it to us, and he will bring people like some of you drop some things in the chat tonight. That's confirmation for a few of us in here, maybe all of us. We have angels. Sister Marvella just dropped that. Listen, Sister Marvella dropped that thing up in here where a lot of people don't. Yes, they're signed to us, and they're just sitting there like, when waiting for work to do, and we are not speaking those things, right? My God. And I needed to hear that. And so when I heard that, I heard it differently. You need to command those things. And I'm like, my God, we're commanding our mornings. We're setting our intention for the day, aren't we? We get up, we pray. For me, get up, I spend some time just very quiet, right? I get on my prayer line, 6 a.m. to 6:15, could be 6:20. And when they get a little chatty catty, it could be 6:30, but it's 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. So we do that. Then at another time now, if I have to get up, I'll walk a little bit, I'll stretch a little bit. If I want to sleep in late or whatever I do, depending, because the night before, many of us, we do our to-do list or whatever that needs to be done, right? And so we have it. And so we have that thing that we do. So we're commanding our morning. If you tell yourself you're going to have a great day, say, God, just guide and protect, right? We have our prayers. Our prayers, we are commanded. Yes, we are commanding our morning. We're saying these things. We're praying. We're sending angels to dispatch. God keeping us from danger seen, unseen, right? Keep us over the highways and the byways, by land, air, or sea. God, you be the pilot, you be the guide. All of those things we're saying, we're commanding and we're putting it out. Yes, I had to fly. So many people within the last 24, 48 hours in my family. My daughter's flying, I'm flying, my son-in-law is flying, everybody all over the place, like, what's happening all of a sudden with everything that's going on? Don't you think that those the prayers of the righteous avail it much? There was so many prayers going up. My God. So we're commanding those things. Like I'm telling you, people at the airport on their best behavior. Late, not a peep. One lady was in the plane. Listen, if the pilot needed, the pilot needed. It was so funny. I was like, girl, next thing, I even fell asleep until it was time to take off. I was like, didn't we get on this flight after 7 something? What is it? We're getting 9:10. I text my sister. I'm like, yeah, I was sleeping. She was like, what? I said, I slept. I don't even know if I snored a little bit. I don't know. But the peace of God that passeth all understanding. And so we just have to say those prayers. So what else do we need to command? What else? Where in your life? Silence, crickets? No. We're like, my God. So whatever it is, if it's a job and we need to do what we need to do right now, we do it. If something needs to go into a holding pattern, for me, some things had to go into a holding pattern. That's it. There were work that I have done. I am not here, and I'm making this very clear. I'm not here begging anybody anything, because if there's one thing that I am resourceful. Many of us, we are resourceful. In Jamaica, we say we take we hand and we turn fashion. And so if you have to go down to a list, sometimes God will make you connect with people because their faith is so big. It's not about your money or anything. Yes, if this is going to, business is business. But sometimes God will put people in your and to also connect on why this is, because sometimes you don't want people to get the wrong idea. But it's because their faith is so big, and you may think that what you're doing, in other words, you just need to see an example of it. And maybe at the time you didn't figure out why God might have made that person just come up in your thoughts. Am I making sense? Yes. Because someone said that to me a couple weeks ago. They said, oh my gosh, you're so resilient. And she said, that's a diss. She said, we are resourceful, because when you're resourceful, what are you using? Come on. What are we using? I'm resilient. Oh, I can bounce back. And we just throw that word all over the place. No problem, because a lot of people in corporate, they're talking about resilience and all of that stuff. But many of us, remember when there wasn't a lot of money, what did your mama had to do? What did your dad have to do, right? When there wasn't time, when we couldn't buy the fancy lunch at school, they would make you some peanut butter or bologna sandwich, whatever they needed to do. They'll make you a sandwich, and you take that sandwich to school. You better not be embarrassed, or you're going to be hungry. They were resourceful. They were resourceful. If they were saying, oh, you can't have lunch at school, make that peanut butter, make that bologna sandwich. That was back in the day, when Oscar Mayer had a way with Bologna. Oh my God, my brain. Who remembers that commercial? My bologna has a first name. It's OSCAR. This is, guys, ginger and hibiscus tea, because we all save up in this piece. We make $1 out of 15 cents. Yes, we did. Huh? I was in the store the other night. Guess what I saw? Guys, this is a sidebar, but it's a good one. I tell you, because us menopause ladies, sometimes if you ever feel like you want to drink the soda, and sometimes I may only want the soda from some machine. I don't even know if they clean the machine. I was like, the 7-Eleven, why do you want it? I just want that taste. What do we call it? Seltzer water? Like the club soda seltzer water? Because sometimes you just want the seltzer taste. You just want that taste. So now I just do the seltzer, and I'm like, oh, somebody said you could put a little thing in it to give it the taste like soda, to make it look like soda. I was like, well, you can buy it already flavored. However, I was in a supermarket and I said I don't want to use the what do you call it, the syrup, because of all the sugars in it. And so I went into the aisle, and they have the thing you can put in it, but something say, read the ingredients. Go read the ingredients. Allison Map, I'm over here, girl. What you talking about? You're laughing at my baloney? Go on YouTube and you will see the commercial. My baloney as a first name, it's ONCAR. My baloney as a second name, it's MAYER. Oh, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me what I'll say, because Oscar Mayer and the way with BOLDNA. I'm doing that because I don't want them to think my voice is so beautiful and I get a copyright. Okay, guys? That's how I learned to spell baloney, from that commercial. Yes. So, anyway, guys, I was in the aisle and I said, what am I going to put in my seltzer water? And I saw this little thing, and something said, read the ingredients. Baby, go read those things they're telling you to put in there if you want to make your own little soda, with the color in there. It had so much, yeah. Because Oscar Mayer listen, Elsa Durham over here trying to be like the eagle. You make my ADDDDD kicking in, right? But yes, you get what I'm saying. So anyway, I started to read the ingredients. There was some stuff in there. I had to Google it. And it was an artificial sweetener. I said, no, you don't. I put it right back. Y'all need to start reading those ingredients. I said, no, because my body don't know, allegedly, how to get rid of that, whatever it was. I was like, nope. And then next to it, to the left. Oh, sorry. Allison Map. I'm just really trying to be safe up in here because the bishop and the preacher is up in here. To the left was some Kool-Aid. Who remember the Kool-Aid, right? Else. To the left, pack up all the things over there to the left. There was the Kool-Aid. I said, Kool-Aid? I didn't even know Kool-Aid was still around. I went to pick up the Kool-Aid, and I don't know who was looking else, but I picked up the grape Kool-Aid. Who just got what I said? I picked up the grape Kool-Aid. Don't tell nobody. Just a plain seltzer and put a lemon in it. Yeah, because now they have the fake flavor in it. Or you could just drop some blueberries and stuff. But else and everybody else, I went and picked up. Why I got to go pick up the grape Kool-Aid? Can somebody explain that to me? Why did I got to go pick up the grape Kool-Aid? But I did. Hey, here comes Kool-Aid. Here comes Kool-Aid. And then you bust through the wall. See, we were the Gen Xers, for all you young millennials, we were the latchkey kids, right? You better stay in this house. Don't open this door for nobody. I'm going to ring the phone 3-4 times. And then after I ring the phone three times, then you pick it up. But don't even open this door for nobody. What do we have to do? Just watch television, right? I remember the Tropical Punch. I could even sing you the Hawaiian. Who remember Hawaiian Punch? Hey, I just came from Jamaica, came here in the 70s. And so we used to watch the 70s, going to the 80s, watch Hawaiian Punch. Hawaiian Punch is a taste that only really tastes. Come on and go Hawaiian. Oh my gosh, I'm just singing commercials here. They should hire me. But anyway, guys, I am telling you. All right. So all of that stuff, I'm just saying is to say that no, go with the regular stuff. Be you, be great. Focusing on who you are and whose you are. And yes, me now trying to get back serious after being real silly. Yeah, it's about the grape Kool-Aid because they always think that we drink grape Kool-Aid. But the grape, yeah. But I ended up not purchasing it. But the next time you're in the store, go look at it because it didn't have all that fake stuff that was there. And then sometimes too, nothing against Kool-Aid or any brand, but anything that's red, they use those little bugs. The little bugs that, how many people know about the little bugs that give the redness? That's why certain people, Some Jamaicans say, boy, me not drink nothing red. God, me no, nothing with nothing red. Real article Jamaican, we say, ooh, me not eat nothing red. I mean, not take it from no man. Yeah, so some of y'all, I don't remember the name, but they're these little bugs that they crushed up. And I don't know, I'm not saying any of these things allegedly, not any of these brands. I'm just saying I heard the little bugs and all of that. If someone had a big smile, they would say he or she has a big Kool-Aid smile. I remember Hawaiian Punch and Tang. What? Yes. Listen, all you little young millennials spending this money about buying about the bugs with the color. All right. So every time we come over here, I talk about stuff that maybe you'll see on Jeopardy. It'll jog your memory and you could use it, right? But it's been an hour, but this has been fun. And I love you guys. I really love you. But know that we're commanding our morning. Let's start commanding our money. Speak over our health. Speak over, because we can pray for other people. We're going to see some things. God is going to do some things supernatural. I told you all about what was paid in full, even more so. You're not begging nobody for nothing. I am going down the list. If I'm doing something in the future, I'm going to say, this is what's happening. If I've done something and somebody choose not to honor it the way they're supposed to, I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, because I see where I'm being stretched. And it's about my faith, because God is bigger than anybody trying to just play games with your mind. Remember, the eagle is focused. We can have fun here. A lot of stuff Sharon can talk about. But listen, right now, I know what I need to be focused on. And the game will be different. And I can walk into a room. Marvella said, walk in our spiritual authority. And we are going to do that in anything. Anybody, you need to pick up the phone, the call, pray over it first, get clear, take some notes, and sometimes all you have to do is just ask. And it said what? It shall be done. Seek, knock, those things, right? Simple. It's already there for us. So y'all, I'm going to shut this down. I think God is doing something right now with us. Amen. Yes, he is. It is a new season. A lot of distraction. Some stuff I don't even want to say, but there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of pettiness in high places, spiritual wickedness in high places, pettiness. Y'all get what I'm saying? Pettiness. And under that pettiness, people are being crushed. But God, this is not about a red bag with a little. And why would I have a red bag where somebody can just, somebody must probably just got what I said. If that can happen in that space and time, the power of prayer, collective prayer, is powerful. It can shift and move the atmosphere. Go back to some things that I'm not going to say here that you didn't even recognize what is happening and who was placed where. People were specifically placed for all of this. They even have the foresight. Hey there, Wisdom Sparks. For what's happening was already planned. Got to stop thinking about just planning for next week's dinner, just planning for Thanksgiving. 10, 15, 20, 30 years or even more. The eagle can live in the wild, they said, for more than 30 years and survive. And we are what? Thriving. We are being resourceful. Many of you have something that you can take a mickle, and they say every mickle make a muckle. Make $1 out of what? Somebody said 50 cents, right? And so we're able to shift and move the atmosphere. Let's start commanding those things that we want. That God and those angels, instead of them there just, so when Sharon is going to, when this angels are there. Marvella already spoke about it. Marvella, maybe you need to do a little something, a little sermonette on that one, right? 30 years. And 30, what is 30 years? What them say? A generation. Make sense out of, in Jamaica we say make sense out of nonsense. There's just so much that I can say within this space. But y'all get this. laser focus, move into the future, even when we're not here. There's some cultures that the work that they're doing now is 1 and 2 generation ahead into the future. Yes, we have to catch up. Some of we have to catch up, right? But it is what it is. Your gifting, your skills. Nitya, all right, yeah, Nitya, I'm going, all of this. Stretch forth our hands to that young woman. That is one lady that is brilliant. And every song, everything that you've written, that's for your children's children's children. And I want to say, even if you have to take maybe 5 hours out of the week and find out how you're going to protect that, how you're going to have your own publishing company and all of those things, that's already there. Because I'm telling you that people like you, I know, who are behind others who are there. And it's no jealousy, no nothing. I'm just saying they're just the gifting and the skills, the skill set from that. And I know it's coming together. But God, my goodness, guys, this was good. This was good. This is good. Y'all, we need to get together and have a Zoom one of these days. We need to have one of those. Just a thought, just a thought. But God bless each and every one of you. This was a beautiful live. If you've missed it, Wisdom Spark, we have to catch the replay on this because, baby, this was more than Oscar Mayer's Kool-Aid and grape soda. It was much more. But maybe that's where it came in. I don't know. But if you guys have enjoyed this live, drop me. Did we reach to number 8? Is that the number of completion there? 8? But God, push Christian content as never before. Come on. Hello. Hallelujah. Come on. It's Marvella. Push Christian content as never before because them a clamp down upon everybody. Push Christian content. Christians been persecuted anywhere because now them a play games with people. Thank you so much, Els Endeavors. I needed that word that was spoken into my life. And the direction, many of us, we're going to have to start looking what we're doing with our ministries, right? In this season, it's a new season. It's a new day. And Marvella, if you're going to do something and talk about those angels that are waiting on us, right? That are assigned to us. And once the moment we start to understand that, because sometimes we forget, because I know about it, but it's almost as if I forgot, like being too busy with life. I was waiting on you to say, Nitya, I love you all. You all are so brilliant. Girl, text me. You got my number. Y'all know to find my email here. We need to have these conversations so we understand and that we don't forget that because it can literally save lives. Literally, I have to command those angels around the bed of my grandson. These are things that can literally save lives. And I'll leave this with y'all. There's some folk, you got people up and down, there's some folk that don't need to be. Prayer is necessary in this season. Prayer is necessary for you, for me, your loved ones in the hospital, because there's some angels off and there's some books out there on some people that some of them may not even want them touch my patient. Don't want them to touch. Dispatch those angels. Dispatch those angels. Yes. You can find me on Instagram, inbox me, whichever. Dispatch those angels, y'all. I'm telling you. We close it out in a prayer. I love you all so much. This is just amazing. Thank you all. Thank you all for working with me. Like I said, I was traveling, flew back in this morning. My traveling will be picking up starting next month. We'll still have the videos going. Things will be released. I went out and I bought some stuff, so we're going to make it happen. But pray without ceasing. Yeah. Let me end this with a smile, because sometimes it ends me looking like this. So I want to end this with a smile. Yes. Wisdom spark. Yeah, yeah, leave your streams, leave your stuff alone. Guys, stop messing with your, Wisdom Spark is so quiet, but Wisdom knows a lot of this information from way back when. I've been watching her. Leave your lives alone. I stopped worrying about those low numbers. And I told Nitya, guys, I've been the first thing monetized whenever, whatever. I just haven't even have time to look at that. And had I continued the way I was, I would have been monetized by at least the 21st or something like this, the 4,000 hours. I got them hours sitting there. So let's leave those hours alone. YouTube is playing with us because the hours thing pop back up, and then some hours they will try to evaluate them because sometimes they pull them and they come back. I don't know what they're doing, but every little bit, one cocoa full basket, every little bit, it's going, before you know it, you're fully monetized. Yes. Yeah, leave them alone. Safe travels. Thank you. God bless you all. We're going to do this thing. All right. We're going to get together and yeah, y'all just don't know what I do, y'all. Many of you're super talented, and yeah, there's some people who have already connected and they know it. And I've actually been in front of their groups, but then sometimes I'm looking to put other people on those platforms. So continue doing what you're doing. We'll talk more. Have a beautiful weekend, guys. I'll see you all. Yes, God bless you. Don't give up. Let's move forward. All right. Upward and onward like the eagle, y'all. Minding his business, being brilliant. No, he's brilliant. He don't walk around with chicken heads. He's up there and he knows. He knows it. We know who we are. Peculiar people. Set apart, guys. Take care now. Until next time. Bye-bye.